GH shocker. Brook Lynn is pregnant with twins, but Lulu drops a bombshell about Cody being the father of the other baby. Port Charles is about to be rocked to its core with a pregnancy twist that no one saw coming, not even Brook Lynn Quartermain herself. In a storyline that blends mystery, heartache, betrayal, and legacy, General Hospital is diving headfirst into an emotional firestorm. Just when Brook Lynn and Chase thought they were finally settling into their happy ever after, a doctor's visit reveals the kind of complication only Port Charles can deliver. Brook Lynn is pregnant with twins, and the babies have two different fathers. Yes, you read that right, and it gets even juicier. In a moment of raw honesty, Lulu Spencer awakens and delivers a bombshell that will change everything. One of the babies belongs to Cody Bell. Brook Lynn had been feeling off for weeks. Morning nausea, swollen ankles, exhaustion. She chalked it all up to stress, planning a wedding with Harrison Chase, juggling the deception fallout, and navigating the ever-tangled web of Quartermain family drama. But when she fainted during a board meeting at Yelku, it was Lois and Tracy who insisted she go to the hospital. Dr. Navarro ran the standard tests, and the result was the first shock of many. Congratulations, Brook Lynn. You're pregnant. With twins. Brook Lynn was stunned. Chase was thrilled, at first. But even as the joy swelled, a subtle tension hovered beneath the surface. Something didn't quite add up. In classic GH style, the twist began to unfold when prenatal tests revealed something odd. The twins, while healthy, didn't share identical DNA markers. In fact, the genetic testing suggested something extremely rare, heteropaternal superfecundation, a phenomenon where fraternal twins are conceived from two separate fathers in the same cycle. Dr. Navarro gently broke the news. This is incredibly rare, but it's biologically possible. We ran the paternity comparisons. One baby is Harrison Chase's. The other isn't. Brook Lynn was floored. But I've only been with Chase. Except that wasn't entirely true. Flashback to a fateful night 6 weeks prior, a celebration at the Savoy. Brook Lynn had downed one too many cocktails after hearing news of Lucy and Maxie being cleared of corporate sabotage charges. Chase was on duty with the PCPD and couldn't join her. Cody Bell, fresh off his heroics rescuing Sasha from Ferncliffe's nightmare, was also celebrating. A mutual toast turned into lingering conversation, laughter, and, according to Brook Lynn's now foggy memory, a possible night neither of them intended. When confronted, Cody was visibly shaken but honest. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to complicate your life. I thought it was just a mistake. I never wanted to hurt you or Chase. Brook Lynn's world spiraled. But that wasn't the biggest twist. At the same time Brook Lynn's life was imploding, Lulu Spencer miraculously awakened from her coma. Family and friends rejoiced as Dante, Laura, and Charlotte surrounded her bedside. But Lulu had a secret, one locked deep in the recesses of her fractured mind. As she slowly pieced together her memories from before the explosion that left her unconscious, one moment came rushing back. Brook Lynn and Cody, it wasn't an accident. I saw them. It was real. They cared about each other, even if they didn't admit it. According to Lulu, in the weeks before she fell into her coma, Brook Lynn and Cody had grown surprisingly close, bonding over their shared disillusionment with life, family expectations, and past heartbreaks. A night of vulnerability led to passion, and Lulu, who had just started to suspect something, saw them together outside the Quartermain stables. Her memory confirms the timeline. The second baby? Cody's. The revelation sets off a domino effect throughout Port Charles. Chase is devastated. The man who stood by Brook Lynn through scandal, deception, and blackmail now finds himself blindsided. I can accept that mistakes happen. But I don't know if I can raise another man's child when I wasn't even told the truth. Brook Lynn pleads for understanding. I didn't know. I swear, Chase. I didn't know until the test. That night with Cody, it was one time. It didn't mean anything. But the damage is done. Cody is conflicted. At first overwhelmed by the news, he then leans into his unexpected paternity, determined not to abandon his child the way he was abandoned by his own father. "I never thought I'd be a dad. But I won't walk away. I can't. Not after everything Max taught me about family." His growing connection with Max Scorpio gives him the strength to fight for his place, and for a role in the life of the baby, who is undeniably his. Of course, no GH storyline is complete without a Quartermain explosion. Tracy is livid. Furious that yet another scandal threatens to tarnish the family name and the legacy of her late son Ned, she corners Brook Lynn. "You've embarrassed this family enough. 2 babies, 2 fathers, and a wedding that may never happen? What next, Brook Lynn? A reality show?" Lois is supportive, yet heartbroken, especially as she watches her daughter wrestle with guilt, public scrutiny, and the impossible task of choosing between 2 men. Your job isn't to make everyone else happy. Your job is to love those babies with everything you've got. But things get even messier when Olivia and Dante weigh in, taking sides in a family war that could pit Quartermain against Quartermain and Falconeri against Falconeri. Maxie is horrified, not because of the scandal, but because it forces her to relive her own complicated past with babies, paternity tests, and heartbreak. She becomes an unlikely source of comfort for Brook Lynn, offering support only someone who's been through it can provide. You don't get to pick how your family begins. You just decide how strong it's going to be. Sasha, recently on the road to emotional recovery, finds herself bonding with Brook Lynn in new ways. Both women are dealing with unexpected motherhood, public pressure, and broken trust. And Lucy? She sees dollar signs. Brook Lynn twins from 2 different fathers? This is ratings gold. You need to come back to deception with those babies. We could do a whole campaign. Double trouble. As the due date looms, Brook Lynn finds herself facing the biggest decision of her life. 2 babies. 2 fathers. 1 heart that's breaking. She must decide. Does she try to salvage her relationship with Chase and ask him to co-parent both children, even if one isn't biologically his? Or does she accept that she may be raising her children with 2 different men in 2 different households? And what if she chooses to raise them on her own, proving she's strong enough to be the mother they need without depending on anyone else? A tearful Lois reminds her daughter of her strength. "You are not broken, Brook Lynn. You are powerful. You are a Quartermain and a Chirulo, and you're Nana's girl. You can do this, and those babies are lucky to have you." But the final pages of this storyline hold one more twist. Dr. Navarro schedules a 3D ultrasound, and that's when Brook Lynn, alone in the hospital room, sees the faces of her 2 babies. As tears roll down her cheeks, a nurse walks in with another set of test results. "We just got the latest results from the lab. There's been a correction. The earlier test was compromised." Brook Lynn's heart stops. "What do you mean compromised? There's only 1 father. Could it be that the entire paternity scandal was a mistake?" The screen fades to black, with the camera closing in on Brook Lynn's stunned face. Port Charles is about to enter uncharted waters. Whether Brook Lynn's twins have 2 fathers or not, one thing is clear: life will never be the same again for her, Chase, Cody, or Lulu. What does this mean for Cody and Sasha's potential rekindling? Will Lulu's return disrupt Dante's life in even deeper ways? Can Brook Lynn and Chase survive this earthquake, or is this the end of their fairy tale romance? And just what will Tracy Quartermain do next? Stay with us for next week's General Hospital spoilers, because this is only the beginning.